Hey everybody, Mark Dyer here from the Performance Center, here to go over our mobility routine for our home program. So for the mobility routine, we start on the ground with some rotation of the lower and upper body. We're going to start with knee transfers, so you're going to have palms facing the ground, shoulder blades squeezing the ground, knees together, feet together, and drive your heels as close as you can to your butt. Then you're going to slowly drop those knees to the side and think about pushing your hips away from you. Hold, and back over to the other side. Again, you can modify this one and make it a little more challenging by dropping the feet up. Just make sure we're keeping a 90-degree angle at the knees and the ankles. And you're going to do the same thing. Drop it slowly, bring it back. So you're going to do 8 to 10 of those each side before you move up to the T-spine rotation. For the T-spine rotation, you're going to start in side laying position. Hands to the side, knees stacked. You're going to take that top knee, slide it up, and then drive it into the ground. You want to make sure that knee stays pinned to the ground. Then you're going to take the top hand, sweep it up, follow the ceiling, and follow that hand all the way behind you. Slowly bring it back to starting position. So you're going to do about 8 to 10 each of those on each side. So make sure that your knee isn't popping off the ground as you rotate, that you're keeping that knee and hip square to the ground. So again, you're going to do 8 to 10 of those before you move into tabletop position for our hip series. So tabletop position, we want to make sure we're in a strong stacked position so all of our joints are lining up, knees under hips, wrists under elbows, elbows under shoulders. Once you're in that strong position, we're going to start with the fire hydrants. So you're going to simply just draw a line out to the side, bring the knee back. All while keeping your lower back flat and making sure your hips stay square to the ground and that you're not rotating up to get that motion. Hip stays square, back stays flat, knee drives out and back. So you're going to do about 8 to 10 of those each side before you move on to the circles. So same positioning for the hip circles, except you're going to be drawing a big circle with your kneecap in, big circle with your kneecap out, all while making sure we're not rotating those hips to get it. You're keeping that femur and hip all square to the ground. So again, you're going to do about 8 to 10 of those each side before you move into your last one, which is some hip extension. These are the heel to skies. So it's the same position. You're going to finish out with a heel to sky. You're going to be in the stacked position. You're going to drive that heel all the way to the ceiling and bring it back down. All the way to the ceiling and back down. Now on this one, it's crucial that you don't overextend your back as you drive your heel and make that big C with your back. You want to make sure you keep a flat back, neutral spine, very slow and controlled movement, not a lot there. So that is our hip series. And then we move to the upper body for some arm circles. So still in the tabletop position, we want to think about the same thing with our shoulders. We want to keep our shoulders square to the ground. So you're going to take your arm, straighten it all the way out, and make a big circle all the way, forward and back. Notice I keep my shoulders square to the ground and I'm not rotating to get any range of motion. I'm letting that whole arm roll through the shoulder joint in its natural range of motion. So you're going to do about 8 to 10 of those forward and back on each side. After we're done with the arm circles, we roll into the world's greatest stretch. And then, so we start in tabletop position or push-up position, tall plank position. And then we're going to take our right foot, step outside of your right hand. All right? You already should feel a really good stretch in your hamstring on this one. Now we're going to take the elbow, drop that inside elbow to that outside ankle. Hold that for a couple seconds. Then you're going to take that same inside arm, sweep it up to the sky, following that hand all the way to the ceiling. Bring it back down, back to tall plank, and switching sides. Feeling that stretch, hold it, then drop the elbow down, then rotate up to the sky. Back down, back into position. And that's the one half of the world's greatest stretch. Then we're gonna finish off with some flexion and extension of the spine with those cat-cows. This is all one that we love and are familiar with. Back into tabletop position, we're gonna do the cat-cow. Cat, you're gonna bring your belly button all the way to the sky. As you push your shoulder blades down, look into your belly button. Then for cow, you're gonna drop that belly button all the way to the ground as you look up to the ceiling. And then again, I'll go through a couple of these. And back down. Again, you want to think about moving each vertebrae one at a time, slow and controlled, so you're getting as much extension and as much flexion out of that movement as possible. And again, in this mobility series, it's good to connect your breath, the inhale and exhale with those rotations and extensions. So that is the mobility routine for the home workout. Thank you, everyone.